Hey there, I'm Ivan.
I'm Alex.
I'm Dwight.
And, I didn't put a thing in this intro. That really threw me for a loop.
Go for it, keep going.
Keep going.
And tonight we prove none of us are as professional as Ryan Rashidi, who would always have an intro written. Welcome to It's Just a Game, Flameouts. Hello and welcome to the podcast where we watch Survivor so you don't have to. It's Just a Game, Flameouts. Each week, we'll be running over the biggest moves, maddest moments, and blindest sides of the latest episode of Survivor 50 with a special guest, and catching up on how you're doing in our IJAG Survivor 50 Fantasy League. My name's Ivan, and the only marooning challenge I'll be taking part in is getting the second layer of red paint to dry in my murder dungeon. It's very damp in there. I'm joined by my co-host, red in both tooth and also claw, Alex McMillan. Alex, what's the exact hexadecimal code for maroon?
Oh, okay. So I'm pretty sure we're beginning with it's going to be a high red value. So I'm probably guessing an F in that first space. I'm going to say it's F114 E2.
Great. I filled the screen with that colour. Everyone watching on YouTube can see how clever or indeed unclever Alex is. Thank you. And joining us this week, it's Survivor 3 merge maker and storied Clock Tower streamer, Dwight Moore. Dwight, what's the most maroon you've ever turned and what caused it?
Okay, so believe it or not, I don't really turn maroon. That's not a thing we do.
I'm just being racist. I've just been racist on the internet.
Jump scared immediately.
A minute into episode 1. Good going, Ivan.
I've just turned incredibly maroon.
Nice to see you again, Ivan.
I just wrote the intro. You know what? I don't even see colour. So I just went, what's another thing I can say about the word maroon? I don't even know what that is.
Incredible.
Do you know what's so nice was, Ivan, you were like, this is a good safe intro. Dwight's a safe guest. You know, we're not risking anything too much in
Fuck it, we ball.
I'm sweating, guys.
Great.
I'm sweating. I'm maroon. Let's move straight on. Dwight, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing so good. So good. No, this is great. I turned down Survivor 50 so all these legends could be there. I didn't want to take up the spot myself, being very humble. So it's nice to see them all out there, enjoying the game. I obviously would have won if I was out there.
Well, you've already got the connections because obviously you have very, very strong friendships with Christian and Emily.
Yeah, no, before this, Christian and Emily, by far people I'm closest to because I've run Clock Tower with them quite a bit beforehand, which I was concerned of hopefully other people on the cast don't look this up because I don't want my friends getting, targeted for being friends because of me.
Were you watching episode 1 hoping, some small hope, they might show a little clip of some Clock Tower content on Dwight Moore's Twitch stream as a
small part of me is just please, just mention it, please. Just someone give me credit. Just do it.
Poker Alliance 2.0.
I beg, yes. Just use my stream content. Right? I just need the viewership.
Do you think that we're going to see long and deep runs from Christian and Emily in this series?
I hope so. It looks like they're setting themselves up pretty strongly at the beginning, right? We have those two together. It's going to be working close with Devins. They just saved Suri and Ozzy. Are we doing spoilers already?
Do you know what? Let's do a retrospective spoiler zone. If you haven't watched episode 1 of Survivor 50, what are you even doing here? Pause this, watch that, and then come back here to hear what Dwight Moore's got to say about Christian and Emily, for God's sake. On you go.
Exactly. Yeah. So, ideally, they should just realize, we have the majority now. So I hope they're setting themselves up fine. I hope they make a deep run. I have no idea. So either CBS didn't know that they play Clock Tower a lot, or they just don't care.
I think they did. I think we should go straight into this because Sela is a very, very interesting tribe because I feel like it was made to be a tribe for the nerds because you've got Christian, Emily, and Rick. Rick's not as much of a nerd as Christian and Emily, and I mean, by the way, when I say nerd, as any listener will know, that's the highest praise I can pour on somebody. But Rick's going to work really well with those two if they choose to work with him. And then I think for all of the Survivor nerds, the idea of those three working with Siri and Ozzy is just the most exciting possibility any of us could have thought of, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Even with the setup, you had that Siri Ozzy connection built in. Something about Christian and Rick, most people won't, know to talk about is they played on seasons 37, 38 back to back. Typically sister seasons like that film at the same period, those casts get pretty close. So there are a lot of built-in kind of pairs, trios with this. And then we have the other three. We have Savannah, Jenna, and Joe. Yeah. So I feel like the tribe's initial setup isn't the best for those three.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Dwight, like for me, watching this episode already felt like fan fiction. So the idea of like you personally knowing some of these people and watching them do so well, I'm imagining your viewing experience was a whole other level above mine.
Freaking out. I'm just like, no one say Christian or Emily's name. I swear to God, if you do, I will find you. So they didn't. So I'm happy.
They're keeping a low profile. I mean, I was really, it's so interesting with so many kind of main characters in this season. You do kind of think like, well, who's going to stand out? Who's going to be the protagonist of this season? And looking at the fantasy scores, which I've been sort of updating as I watched, it's very, very clear who got the edit. From Seela, there's only one person who got a big edit, and it was Ozzy. And Ozzy just got everything this episode.
Yeah, he just had one of the best premieres he possibly could have. Like, got gifted an idol, to be fair. Like, not even, he didn't even find it. He just said, someone said, behold, an idol for you. Like, insane that this just happens in a premiere. Convinces Q to give up his vote for him to get the extra one. So it's hard to have a better start to a season than this. So I'm excited to see where it goes from here for him.
Alex, do you see any sort of tactical blunder, though, in the way Ozzy set his staff right next to Siri from the very beginning?
I mean, in a perfect world, in a clinical play, you probably wouldn't necessarily want to like put both of your targets right beside each other like that. But I think Ozzy is taking a sort of realistic approach here, in that like, look, I'm not going to be able to distance myself from Suri. Like, even if I don't work with her, the perception will linger. So why would I throw away someone who is, a very strong ally? I think Ozzy is trying to sort of play a different style of game from the one that
Oscar.
he has. Sorry, Oscar, I do apologize. It's so genuinely, the idea that man's name is not Ozzy on his birth certificate baffles me.
I think when we saw three people's names being mentioned when they went to Tribal, and his was very much the third of those three, right? So it was kind of always this Jenna versus Siri competition. And then Emily started going, what about Ozzy? And it never felt like a legitimate threat. But I guess like he had an amazing episode, but he was definitely on people's lips, which some of our favorites definitely weren't.
I can see why Ozzy didn't get that target there. Even though it would have been, fun for the drama afterwards. And also brings a good point of you're pissing off one of Suri or Ozzy if you let, one of them go.
Do you think that may be the reason in the end why they did vote for Jenna? Was because if it's not 1v1, it's kind of 1v2, and you're just going to awaken some horrible bear, whether it's angry Ozzy or angry Suri. Either way, it doesn't feel nearly as easy as just getting rid of Jenna.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Because if you leave someone angry, and I think it was already mentioned in like the little secret scene, but Suri and Ozzy are kind of clocking that Christian, Emily, Rick are a trio. And if you like pissed off whoever survived, the other four can just take out those three if they're smart enough about it.
I think that's our first jargon klaxon. And I forgot to mention to you guys before we recorded, because a lot of people listening to this will be watching their first series of American Survivor. Every time we get anything that may not make immediate sense, I want the jargon klaxon to go off. It sounds like this. The power of editing. And I think secret scene is something which we probably ought to explain. I don't know how you can access them. So Dwight, give us the lowdown on this. How do we watch the extra deleted scenes for each episode?
I randomly saw it on Twitter, but so every season there are a couple scenes that don't make the edit. They will post them, some on social media, sometimes on YouTube. But it's just scenes that the editors did edit. They made into something that would make the show. They just didn't put in the main show. It showed Suri talking to Ozzy, and she did mention that she's realizing Christian's really in charge of this tribe. She has Rick, has Emily, and it's not exactly going on people's radar that they're such a strong trio.
Okay, that's a bit concerning. Oh no, Christian, don't lose. What could Jenna have done differently, right? Because Jenna, she came in all guns blazing. She just like on All Stars when she went, I want to take out all the winners. Before she needed to, she named a target and made it very vocal that that's what she was going to do.
I think her arguments against Suri were maybe her biggest problem. Like, it wasn't just that you're going after sort of like this really pivotal figure in Survivor. It's like your argument is, oh, she's bad at challenges. Like, they all knew that already. That's not new information. Like, that is not the reason Suri lasts in these games. And it just seemed like a very weirdly two-dimensional argument from Jenna, in the way that, like, we're not making or breaking this tribe's challenge wins on Suri. We're just not putting Suri in a sort of key position again. That was the mistake. It wasn't the fact that she can't throw a monkey's fist. It was that they let her be the only person doing that.
One thing about this whole new era that they're trying to promote, like new era is a faster, more dangerous game. And I think maybe Jenna fell into the trap of hearing all this promotion about it. You just start playing as soon as you hit the beach. You don't throw out a name on day one. No, you just don't do that.
That's a really good point, that if she's told herself the story that everyone plays hard on day one, what she's missed is everyone plays positively on day one. It's all about, I feel really good about you. I really want to play with you.
I want to get my group of 4, and then let's vote at the other 2. Like, no. Like, oh my, it's the same every new era season.
Yeah, so maybe that's what she missed. I mean, but we also need to say that amongst all of this, and maybe it was a bad target, but also Siri, while she gets worse and worse at challenges, she gets better and better at social play. She is kind of sparkling. Like when she hasn't ever smiled at me, but when she smiles at you, you can just tell that makes you feel good in your soul, right? She just seems to be so socially appealing to everyone she speaks to. It's incredible.
It's incredible. And I met her outside the game. She's a lovely person, but inside the game, it'd be terrifying knowing, oh, she's a threat, but I don't want to get rid of her. She's so lovely, so I'm just going to keep her here anyways. Like, she gets away with it every single time. It's insane.
I actually had a theory that I was developing earlier today regarding Siri that I was very excited to share with both of you. I believe that Siri might be the reality TV equivalent of Kevin Bacon in regards to you can tie any reality player back to her. And so I've done that with both of you.
Ooh!
Oh, dear.
So
I want to know my fields number. Thank you.
Yes.
Please. Yes.
Well, so I'll start with Dwight's a little simpler to get to. So Dwight, you've got a fields number of 3 because you played on Survivor with Jesse. Jesse played with Jared Fields on Beast Games, and Jared played with his own mother Suri on Big Brother. And Ivan, your fields number is 5. Because
that's high, actually. Okay, let's do it. Come on.
I mean, it's a difficult path, but we can get there. It might be lower. People are free to correct me. But the journey I took for you is that you competed with Aaron Evans in Traders UK.
Yes.
He competed with Jana Craig in Love Island USA. She competed with Peter Weber in Destination X. He competed with Sandra Diaz-Twine in Traders US, and she competed with Suri in Survivor.
That's phenomenal.
That's
Alex.
wild.
Do you know what? Ryan could never. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
I do worry that now I've set up that I have to do this with every guest, which might become more and more tenuous.
You do. Yeah, absolutely.
You really must.
Yeah.
But the thing is, quite a few of them have played Survivor, so that might be like, well, it's Survivor. I mean, I'm surprised, Dwight, you're 3, not 2. Surely there's someone who's played from 4. No, there's not. It's 43.
No, 43 has no one on this. Nope. 43 got shut out.
Okay, yeah. Before we finish talking about Sela, I think there's quite a lot to say about Christian this episode. I mean, obviously, him starting fire with 3 sets of glasses in series was one of the most heroic things I've ever seen a human being do, right?
Incredible, not even surprised. I'm like, yeah, that's Christian. That makes sense. You got it.
I think I need to spend a month. I need to find an excuse to spend a month with him. Do you know what I mean?
Do it. No,
maybe against his will.
No, he'll be fine with it. He'll be fine. He'll live. Okay. You have to. I highly recommend.
Ivan, you could try becoming his son.
Oh. Now, do you think I need to replace his current son, or do you think I could just emerge crying and convince him that I'm his second son?
I think, go for the second son.
Additive is probably the way to go there. I would say.
Obviously the emerge part does pose its own questions about like from what and
we'll work on the logistics later about the whole emerging from something thing.
Certainly not on a podcast. Maybe if I could hatch from an egg, couldn't I? And be like, this is how it works now, Christian. You were too busy starting fires with.
He would have something very whimsical to say about that, I'm sure.
He would. Or either that, or I take him to Slamtown. I mean, if he eventually gets to Slamtown, I think he'll spend at least a month there, right?
Surely.
I wanted to ask you both, were you surprised when Jeff started referring to Christian exclusively as Hubicki?
Yes. I don't know.
There's no higher praise.
I don't know why he started doing that.
It just came out of nowhere. I was like, that's not...
I don't know if Christian asked for that to happen, but it just caught me so off guard. I'm like, why is he Hubicki now? Stop that. He's Christian. Stop.
He likes, especially in the returnees season when he wants to be familiar with people. That's just his... Devons is the only other one in those 24, I think, who gets a surname... honorific.
I sort of feel like Emily could, if she lasts a few more episodes, I could see Flippin becoming the nomenclature.
Fields? Loose?
He's already trying to pivot to Oscar. I think Oscar that's another level.
Did they put Oscar in the thing, or did they just leave Ozzy on the screen? Have they changed it to Oscar yet?
No, it's Ozzy, and that's what's even more insulting. It's like during a confessional where he's like, "It's Oscar now," and it's like Ozzy.
They should have changed it should have right then to Oscar. Like, why didn't editors do that? Just have fun with it, guys. It's season 50, but whatever.
CBS, we know you're listening. Come on, do it.
Yeah. We know.
I want to zoom out for a second and ask you about the twist of this season, In the Hands of the Fans. What do we think of this twist, the possibilities it presents, and also the fact that it seems like they have to pander to what we want?
They put up these polls with an answer that they wanted for each and every one. They know what they want to happen. Like the fire-making one, egregious poll manipulation of, do you want people to have the fate in their own hands or go back to letting them get voted out like they used to? No, it was so lame and boring and stupid. Like, guys, come on. Like, what are you doing? You're not even subtle about it.
Some people prefer the show to be worse.
Right.
Yeah, there was this question that was like, do you want it to be a good season or a bad season?
The color scheme, fun, cool. That was like the only one that maybe was meaningful, and like what the idol looks like, and then the way they worded the like advantages one. Like, I'm like, to be honest, I know the hardcore fans would like do something with no advantages, but we all know both of them like, ooh, shiny, dangly, new, like dynamic advantages. We all knew that was going to be voted for. Like, let's be honest.
But what does dynamic even mean? Because it was minimal strategic advantages or dynamic advantages. That's like, they didn't care what you answered for that question, because whatever you answered, it would have been the same set of advantages.
Even like they use the dynamic to put in the block a vote. We've seen that before. And if anything, that's more strategic. Like dynamic should be some absolute off the wall shit, not block a vote. Block a vote, it's like, it's cool and all, but I think it's strategic with block a vote. I don't know. That's just where my head went. So they had their whole idea set up in advance. Whatever, guys.
Absolutely. It's a case of when we looked at the opening challenge even, and Jeff is revealing like, oh, did they choose for you to get rice or supplies? No to both of those. We then go on from that into okay, now you're sort of doing a pick your hero, people going to earn you things. And I was like, okay, so if they had voted for the tribes to get rice and supplies, what would they have been going out to do? Like, clearly you had a framework in mind, and you're like, okay, well, hopefully we don't need to move from this. We've thumbed the scale enough that we can get away with doing, like, Jeff went and asked Billie Eilish and Jimmy Fallon to put advantages in the game. What was he going to do if they said no idols?
It's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Boomerang extra vote.
Like, I don't fully understand why they felt the need to shoehorn in the celebrity mentions. Like, Starter 50 stands apart on its own for being Starter 50. You don't need to also say, hey, these cool celebrities also watch the show. Like, we're so relatable. I don't care. Like, Billie Eilish, great, you're a fan. I don't care. I don't need to hear Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol every single episode of this season. Please, just say Boomerang Idol. Leave it there. Stop.
I think the most egregious line for me in that whole, like, copy that I'm assuming Billie Eilish painstakingly wrote out herself was
every word in the right typeface.
The line where she goes, I thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I had an idol? It was like, okay, cool. Yeah, Billy, we get it. You're better than us.
I'm making fun of it, and like I probably know the person who wrote this letter too. Like I know who does all the advantages stuff. So I'm like, whatever. But still, like, what was the word? He's like, "Hi, I'm Billie Eilish."
Hey, it's Billie.
If I read that on Survivor, I'm like, "Hey, it's Billie Eilish." The fuck do you mean? Why?
I really like the idea that we extend this out, and like all of those situations we got now, all of those journeys where they have to read the stuff themselves, they will have celebrity intros now. Where it's just like, hi, I'm Ryan Seacrest. Here's what you're going to be doing today to win Flint.
I'm Eddie the Eagle. You've lost your vote.
Why not? Like we could be talking about anyone. It could be any Billie Eilish.
Yeah, I mean I thought that was quite fun. I actually think it's quite a good advantage. Like it's quite interesting an advantage. And I was going to ask, how would you play this one?
You're going to want people that you can trust when you hit the merge, wherever that's going to be. I just give it to an ally. Be like, save yourself, go crazy. And if I lose a friend, I'm getting my idol back. I'm not trying to put it on someone who I think is going to vote out. I'm giving it ideally to a friend of mine. If I lose a friend, at least I get an idol. If not, I know I'm hitting the merge with a friend with an idol or someone who had to save themselves. So regardless, it's all positives. Instead of giving it someone who's like, oh, they might go home. But if not, now you have someone who's possibly an ally or enemy with an idol. And to be clear as well, this mechanic is probably going to be on the other tribes as well. So once it gets to the merge, people are going to figure out, hey, you got this idol. Someone gave it to you to probably get you out of the game.
Alex, I don't know if you thought the same thing when Dwight said they're going to have the same advantage on other tribes. Is it going to be like the Christina Aguilera Boomerang Idol? It's going to be like, actually, this was my idea. It's the same advantage as the Billie Eilish one, but I had the idea first and sent it in.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of pissed to learn that Jeff sent the same text to Billy. Like, this is not okay. It sort of reminded me weirdly of, I think it might have been your season, Dwight, the talismans or those things where it was like, oh, there are 3 of them in the game, and
that was the season right before mine, and yes, 42 and 45 had that. But yeah, it was like all 3 people get an amulet, and then as they get voted out, it becomes more and more powerful.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
They also have one in 47, and by that point, they all know it's such a bad advantage. They all spend it immediately with no advantage, just so that they got it out of the game. Or is it 46? It happens the 3rd time and the last time.
Yeah, they just burn it and say, we're not going to be forced to target each other, just burn it now. Yeah. Which honestly, I love that call, because you don't want to have to walk around with 2 people just like always, you coming for me now, going to like, no, just get it out.
Because we all know that good jury management is getting rid of your number 1 at some point in the game. If you leave it long enough and they've still got the idol, and then you blindside them with the idol in their pocket, not only are you the best placed player to tell them not to play it, because they'll listen to you because you're allied with them, but then you get their idol and you get to brag about getting rid of your number 1 in Final Tribal Council. So you could get sort of 4 times the value of this idol.
Post-merge 2 is like, final 6, you can go. Give me that idol, I need it for 5.
Does that mean you could play it in a round where no other idols are playable?
I think the reason why it's final 6 is because then the other person gets the boomerang for final 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was what would have made me a little squinky about it, was like when Ozzy got it and it had that note that said, oh, it's non-transferable and you can only play it on yourself. It's like, why are there these weird stipulations? Where did I get this? You know, it all feels a bit kind of odd.
Yeah, if you're Ozzy trying to figure out why is it I can't move it, it's going through the back of my head. But like I don't think Ozzy's thinking that much through. Like it's like I got an idol, fuck it, we ball. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the specific like why can't I move this off of myself might raise some alarm bells.
I want to move on to a couple of things that I heard people say. First thing is that everybody was trying to say the episode title today. Did you notice that? Rizzo said, Survivor 50, welcome to the bloodbath. And I was like, Rizzo, stand down, pal. Mike White's already said massive party, okay?
I can excuse it for Rizzo because like he's played back to back. I think producers very much hyped him up on how he did compared to on the 49. So whatever, I get that. I was gonna say he's a kid. He's older than me. But yeah, whatever.
I feel very old now.
Yeah, he's only a couple months older than me. It's fine. But they're reality TV events. They're trying to work with the producers to give them some sound bites. I get it, whatever. But also just be yourself. Like, bro.
Did you also notice how many of the contestants said they'd released a new version of themselves? I think it was Coach 4.0, Jonathan 2.0, Genevieve 2.0. I think at least one other person said it as well. Everyone's releasing new versions. It's quite exciting.
But they're all full releases. No one's doing like fragmental. No one's at 1.5. I'm like, Genevieve, I don't think you're at 2 yet. I think this
1.2B, like at best.
1.6 alpha, yeah. It's like it's a couple of hot fixes. There's one new feature.
Aussie 4.0 has rollback, just in case we need it.
The hair seems to have already rolled back, mate. That's it. That's the funniest joke I'm going to tell today. I should stop talking entirely.
It really did feel like there was one producer who just kept being like, would you say you're Chrissy 3.0?
And then she's like, yeah, no, say it as a sentence from the beginning.
I think it's kind of a miracle this episode has a narrative that I could follow, given there were so many moving parts.
I'm surprised by it too. Yeah.
I'd love to know from anyone who was watching this for the first time, which we of course encourage you to do last episode. How did you find it? Because for me, I found this, I love this episode and I found it so exciting. It was very long, a lot went on, but it felt like such a celebration. For new listeners out there, new viewers, was it overwhelming? Let us know in the comments, because I would really like to know how you took to this one.
I'll comment right now.
Okay, yeah, could you? Thank you. It's not even out yet, but you'll find it. One more thing I want to say, it's not what someone said, but it's certainly what someone showed. Mike White is fucking buff. What's happened to Mike White?
That biggest shock of the episode. When did this happen? Why? For what reason?
He didn't draw attention to it. That was the thing that really got me, because it was sort of like a hidden in plain sight thing, where for a second I was like, oh wait, no, hang on, what's going on with Mike's chest?
Right. He didn't mention it, but he wanted someone to mention it. And
yeah.
They did. And like, why did he? Good for him. Shit. Incredible. But when did this happen? When did you have time? I guess he has a lot of time.
Someone said during the task, oh, the White Lotus gym. And I was like, I don't think that's how TV shows work.
I will say, even beyond the Mike White's shredded six-pack of it all, like, I thought this was a very homoerotic episode. Like, there was a lot of, like, Mike in his confessional saying, like, don't annoy daddy and stuff. I was like, you are coming in hot, Mike. This is more than I expected from you.
Hot Mike is really good as well. I like that so much.
All the toe ring stuff probably did it for somebody out there. Love that for them.
Dwight, when I tell you I had blocked that from my memory from a few hours ago, and like I knew there was something else.
Toe ring.
Charlie is a better man than I, because I would be like, get your nasty ass feet away from me. Like, I don't care if it's day one.
There is something so intimate about wearing another man's toe ring.
He said he doesn't take it off for like almost anything. Get your nasty feet away from me. But social game, I guess. Maybe this is why he's on 50 and I'm not, because I would be like,
Something that emerged in this episode that I thought was both, we should have seen it coming, and also I'm so glad it did, was the Coach versus Aussie feud. The clips from Survivor South Pacific were very welcome indeed. The way it emerged, the fact that it was Coach trying to sort of, stop being such a holy dude, not promising to Q he wouldn't backstab him, and then actually backstabbing Aussie. And then the way it brewed with Mike going back to his tribe and saying all of that, wasn't that just fantastic telly?
Absolutely incredible. Honestly, I was surprised Mike went back and told everyone about it publicly. If I was going to pull Coach aside and be like, hey, Ozzy was kind of talking shit, he just blows the spot up in front of everybody, which incredible, because next episode we have Coach and Ozzy going to be going at it, which I can't wait to see that. I cannot wait. But I just can't believe Coach immediately went from playing with honor again to, yeah, actually, give me that shit. Thank you for the key. It lasted not even a full day of gameplay.
I adored that whole sequence, and I think maybe my favorite bit of it was like Coach's little shit-eating grin whenever the key came off, and he was like, "Oh, thanks, pal." I was like, "Oh, you could feel it. You could feel the devil just like emerging from his chest." Oh, it was glorious.
Quick jargon klaxon again. Thank you, klaxon player, for Exile. Exile Island is a recurring twist in probably more than half a dozen series now, perhaps up to 10 series. It's essentially just a place to put people who've lost a thing. They tend to go on their own, and it tends to be a time for them to reflect on all the bad things they've done and maybe look for an advantage. Anything else we need to say about Exile Island? It often hasn't come into play in the game very much at all, apart from that you're not in the discussions during the time you're away.
They haven't had it often, but like sometimes they'll just hide an idol or something on Exile for something to people go find in some way. But I guess they didn't. Nothing that they had to go find, at least.
Exile's more of an honorary title than an actual place, I think, is the big thing, where it's like there isn't one specific island. Sometimes it's a boat.
I completely aside, I want to go to Exile so bad on my season. I was hoping there was an Exile. Like I just want to leave. Just give me a day away from everybody. But
there's one series where Exile Island is actually like a pergola with some delicious fruit plates, and they send Sugar there every single time, thinking it's best if you just always send one person. And so Sugar just every 2 days just gets to go to the fruit house and eat fruit. I can't remember which series is that. It's really funny.
Is that Gabon?
It's Gabon.
That's the backward season where nothing makes sense. I just think there was something so lovely about them, turning it over and being like, "Welcome to Exile." I was like, "Oh my god, even Exile's back! Wow, the gang's really all here."
But the twist here is that there's two of them, and hopefully they'll continue that, because there seems to be this theme in all of the game design about let's have people making quick connections across tribal divides. So the Boomerang Idol is this as well. I feel like the last time we saw this really was all that trading for those tokens in Winners at War, right? Where they're like trying to encourage the players to make these connections across tribes in order to, when the tribe swap inevitably happens and the merge happens, you don't go into it with these tribal allegiances, but instead these kind of tenuous other allegiances.
Yeah, no, I really like a part of game design, because with such a big cast, you don't want just be tribe wars when we hit the merge. This is a way to kind of, explain some cross tribal allegiances, because there's always the personal before the game, but you can't really explain in the edit.
That's a really, really nice way of seeing it. Thank you. All right, let's quickly go through the other two tribes. First of all, Vatu, which was supposed to be the disaster tribe, right? This was the tribe looking at the players who thought this is going to be chaos.
Yeah, so who's on this tribe? We have Q, Rizzo, Kyle,
Angelina.
From preseason, we had Colby and Angelina already beefing for reasons I cannot understand like how that started, but they were in pregame press saying we don't want to work with each other. Crazy. We have the Q Aubrey shenanigans from 40. Anyone who doesn't know, from season 46, which Q's original season, Q targets a player for saying that Aubrey is this person's favorite player, and now Q and Aubrey are on the same tribe. So if you target someone who liked Aubrey, you're probably going to target Aubrey. So I want to see if that plays out at some point. Yeah, this is supposed to be the disaster tribe, but also like they have some good challenge beats on their tribe.
Yeah, I mean, they did great. And actually, I feel that they were a very functional tribe. It wasn't chaos. It went really well. I mean, obviously, Shaw's... Well, actually, I want to talk about Kyle, because obviously Kyle having to leave because of his injury was really sad. But before that happened, another thing people said would happen is, well, they're all going to turn on Kyle. He's the most recent winner they've seen win. He'll be first out. But actually... Before the injury, he was doing surprisingly well. Q wasn't pissing people off. Angelina wasn't being cringe. Everything seemed to be going really, really fine.
Yeah, no, he was so set up on that tribe, which is even despite all the advantages, lost votes and everything, he had a majority alliance on his tribe in the first couple days, despite being like they flew out for 50 a couple weeks after they saw Kyle win one of the most dominant games in a long time. And you want to go then work with him in a major alliance, which you just saw work. I mean, to his credit, the major alliance thing, he was loyal to them for the most part. So not the worst I did, to work with this guy.
Yeah, I think I wasn't as hot on Kyle in his winning game. I just kind of found that season to be a little difficult to really sort of connect with. I thought his play here was phenomenal. The idea that he comes in with a nuclear target and somehow positions himself that well is spectacular. I will say my one thing that I kind of wish the episode had done from a continuity perspective is I wish they would have shown it out of order and shown me the medical evacuation before tribal council. Only because once we got past tribal and Jenna had gone home, I knew we didn't have a full episode left. Yeah, and it was just I was kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop of just okay, well, we don't have enough time to do another challenge. And the only person it just felt like a really kind of slow death march for Kyle, to the point that when Mike came back and started talking to Coach, and there was that weird confession of oh, Coach seemed a bit delirious. I'm is Coach getting pulled? What? I knew someone was going to get pulled.
Again, just for context here, I don't think an episode of Survivor has ever ended without someone going home at the end of that episode. That's how every episode ends.
Season 41, Hourglass bullshit.
Oh!
How could you forget our very favorite Ivan?
And people hated it. So that's never happened again.
This is why you're here. Why you're here. This is why you're here. So there was this burgeoning alliance of Billie Eilish, Genevieve, Kyle, Stephanie, and Colby, right? And that was looking really strong, especially because Colby went from I hate Rizzo to I love Rizzo, and Q was kind of on the sides of that as well. So there was this really interesting, very kind of coherent and believable alliance building. Even without Kyle, Genevieve Aubrey and Genevieve have decided without saying anything that they're mortal enemies.
I want to touch on that Genevieve-Aubrey thing, because what the hell kind of social play was Aubrey saying, so what's your game here, huh? What you up to? What are you doing? Huh? What?
Yeah, I struggle to answer that. I'd be
like, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you.
What are your intentions with my tribe?
Yeah. It was odd. It was really odd. And I think she's alienated herself from the majority here. I don't necessarily see anyone allying with her. I mean, she's a great social player. She's also a good strategic player, but I'm not sure what she's going to do in this tribe. She's going to have to wait for the tribe swap.
I'm not sure what vibes Aubrey and Jenny was putting out before they just said, actually, I don't fuck with you. It's not happening. Insane conversation to witness. And they put it in too. Just the only context we got was they hate each other. Not going to explain why. I'm not going to show any background. Just they hate each other now. Enjoy.
I have to assume there was a part of it that's okay, if there is no context, because I agree with you, Dwight, clearly there is some other conversation that was had beforehand where Aubrey was getting some bad vibes. Otherwise, all I assume is that Aubrey just kind of sees too much of herself in Genevieve, potentially, and she's okay, we can't both exist. This beach ain't big enough for both of us to some degree. It was very odd play. I have to assume Aubrey is experiencing some PTSD from Edge of Extinction. There's got to be something to do with that.
That's fair, yeah, because I already get played quite hard on Edge of Extinction, so it might just be like, I'm not doing this again. Just I'm on guard.
I'm going to shoot you all. I really do hope that Vatu go to Tribal Council next episode, because there's only 5 votes on the table, right? Kyle's gone. Colby's lost his vote, and Q's lost his vote. And no one knows about any of those, right? So that, oh no, hang on. They know about Colby's vote.
Colby's is public. Q's is not public. But like, who's left? It was Angelina, Rizzo, Aubrey. Somehow they have the majority despite being on the outs. Sure. Yeah. New era, baby. Why not?
Let's see that happen.
It's bonkers. I am sad for Colby that he lost his vote, but I will say, in regards to that weird Jenga challenge that him and Savannah did, he had won the advantage and had to read out the spiel about like, the fans have voted for dynamic advantages. Like, he would have just he wouldn't have known what was going on.
The only shirt he brought was a denim shirt, and that thing was so sweaty. I think that's maybe Colby's biggest misplay of the season.
I feel so bad because like they're making all the players wear something they wore in their past seasons too. I'm just like, if I know I had a bad wardrobe, I'm like, can I please change it up? Like, please let me change it up a bit. But they said, nope, get in your denim. Like, go out there and suffer denim for everybody. Shirt. Like, what do you mean? Poor guy.
I've sweated in a denim shirt before, and those things are unforgiving.
Oh my God.
Unforgiving.
Complete aside, like when they were asking for clothing, I'm like, I just need to send stuff I know is comfortable. Like, please, like, they gave me like athletic pants. I'm just like, thank God, there were like some weird like work pants or some shit. Like, oh my God, I was so happy because I was like, I got like 2 jackets, which is crazy. Which I did not need, but whatever. Sure, thanks guys.
Use one as a pillow. Great stuff.
Oh, I did straight up. I gave the extra one to Noelle every night, being like, you're cold, take this.
Oh my God, the Angelina play, and she didn't even need to ask.
No, yeah, genuinely. We talked about afterwards. When I got voted out, she was gonna ask me for the sweater because like it was in my bag. She's like, I need it for sleep, but she's like, I didn't want to do that to you as you're leaving. I was like, I would have given it to you. Like,
Jeff did mention in a video with Angelina in what like must have been their launch party, someone does ask for someone's clothes during an elimination, and I cannot wait to see what happens.
Oh, that's incredible.
I also learned from Mike Bloom, who wrote an article about all the things you didn't see in episode 1 because he was there on the beach, that Angelina did try to negotiate with Jeff for a tarp after the immunity challenge.
God bless her. God bless her.
Let's just briefly talk about Callow and then move on to our fantasy scores. We've got Jonathan playing quite hard, targeting D. We've got a kind of a Mike and Coach alliance thing with Jonathan, maybe. But we didn't see much of them, and that's because basically they just did quite well this episode. Is there anything particularly that takes your notice about the Callow tribe?
Not really. Like, because we had the setup for D, Tiffany, Camilla working together. I just expected that. You know, the New Era women, recent seasons, going to work together. They've met each other before, so like that makes sense. Who's the 4th woman on that tribe? It's
Chrissy.
Chrissy. That's interesting because I remember on Chrissy's original season, Chrissy got into a beef with like the women on her season, and like they just didn't like her at all. So I'm curious to see if a similar kind of storyline happens this time, because all 3 of them, like, to be fair to Chrissy this time, these 3 know each other, have hung out before, like they talk. Mm-hmm. So Chrissy's already on the outs just by default. So I'm curious to see if the social gameplay will come in there, if she'll be able to work her way in to the tribe in some way, or if she's just on the outs forever because of that.
Yeah, that was my main sort of thing from Callow, was that one scene where Chrissy is sort of sitting in the water with Coach, and she's sort of saying like, are we good? Like, she seems quite paranoid in a way that I think is fairly reasonable, but I worry for her in a way that when I'm not getting Chrissy footage, I feel secure knowing that Chrissy is not getting voted out. So
yeah,
that's a weird position where I'm like, the less you're on camera, the better for me.
Now, the thing that made me most emotional in this episode was when it was time to vote and the music kicked in, and it was a remix of the original Tribal Council music, the one that goes do 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 do, and it honestly, I welled up. I was like, oh, thank you so much. That was a beautiful, beautiful touch. I don't know if you guys had the same sort of emotional response to that.
I was really touched by like how much effort the editors had put into like kind of it didn't feel like pandering. It felt just like a really kind of earnest nostalgia. Like, one of my favorite moments that's kind of keyed into this was when Jeff starts asking Jenna about, what do you remember about Tribal from 20 25 years ago, and she starts talking, I remember this gong, and then we almost get this flashback, like we're reliving it with her. Like, it was so, everything, all the references to like context from previous events, it felt so much more intentional than previous returnee seasons. I think the editors have done a fantastic job.
Because you're not trying to, when you're giving those flashbacks, you're not trying to just be like, oh, and if you didn't see this season, this is what happened. The whole point is you're trying to sort of like build the mythos and build the feeling of this is resonant, this means something, this is 49 seasons in the making. And I definitely think it did that. Again, new viewers, how did it feel to see flashbacks? Did you feel like, oh, those first 5 minutes where you saw 500 clips of the best moments of Survivor ever and you didn't know any of them? Did that feel like FOMO, or did that feel like I can't wait for the season to finish so I can go back and watch those ones next? Dwight, what about you? How do you feel about all those big flashbacky things?
It was good. Like I like the Borneo one. I had to go back and watch Borneo, of course, later on in my Survivor watching career. I wasn't born when Borneo premiered. Sorry to say that to everybody. So yeah, I didn't have the same emotional attachment, but I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. It's nice to see the old voting music again. But yeah, like they've done a good job paying respect to all the old seasons, all these old clips, and not making it a recap show, but also just giving a little bit of context and like also little teams like, hey, you want to go watch an old season to get the full story? Go back and watch it. Go watch South Pacific. See why Ozzy and Coach are kind of beefing, kind of not, kind of beefing again.
Yeah, I mean, extra reading for those of you who do want to really get into Survivor. South Pacific is the one that's most relevant to this episode, and I'm sure next episode will have something that's relevant to that.
You've got a week, watch all of South Pacific.
Oh, well, I did have this time, I think I said about this on the podcast, actually. A couple of years ago, I was looking after my dad's dog, and I wasn't doing much work at the time, and I basically just went in a Survivor hyperfocus, and I watched about a season a day for about a month. And so I just got through, like, it was almost that much. It wasn't quite that much, but I got through about 15 to 16 seasons in a month. And it was just absolutely insane and intense and odd. It was an odd time. Yeah, I hyper-focused bad when I hyper-focused. But that, I think you can get through. You can definitely get through South Pacific this week if you've got anything else to do. Quit your jobs. Quit your jobs.
Great
Obviously,
advice.
That's the answer. All right. Look at this. Time is running and we have to update you on the fantasy game. The first thing to say here is that if you haven't joined up, it's not too late. You won't score any points for episode 1, but you'll have the advantage of knowing who's playing well and who might be the main character of the season. Are you an EJAG spotter? Do you know who's going to win by watching this first episode? If so, pick 'em. So here's the information you need to know. We have 60 players in the game. 2 of them are not real. One is Rando Calrissian. That's just a random pick from a random number generator. And one is Joe Average, which is the most common picked players. So that's basically just beat Joe Average to show you're better than that. Christian was your most picked player. 31 people picked Christian, so just more than half. Coach had 30 picks and Siri had 29 picks. So you'll probably have at least one of those players, but they're not going to be differentials. If they score points, then half the other members of this fantasy league also score the points. Kyle and Angelina were the least picked players. They got just 2 picks each. And obviously, if you picked Kyle, you've already lost them, so I'm so sorry about that. Now, as for bogeys, Q was the most bogeyed pick with 12, and then Kyle with 8. So those people who've lost Kyle as their bogey are going to be absolutely loving that, because no more negative points for you. One person picked Jenna as their bogey. Let's see, who was it? Mike L. Congrats, Mike L. You picked Jenna as your bogey. She scored -3 points this week. So you got positive points for your bogey, and you'll never have to worry about it again. Mike L., you may well be winning. So yeah, we had our MVP Ozzy. He scored 33 points this week. He ran the gamut. He got an advantage, an idol. He cried. He went on a journey. He did a 11 confessional episode, which is enormous, mostly because in his journey, there was no Jeff to narrate the challenge, so it just kept going back to him. That might be the highest episode score all season, or at least until the final, or if we have another double episode, then. So how did everyone do? Well, let's start with Alex. You are in 28th place with 60 points. It's decent. It's decent. And you've lost Kyle. Kyle was your bogey, so you haven't got to worry about Kyle anymore. Very good pick. Well done. I am just 2 points ahead of you. I'm in 26th place with 62. I've had a solid week. I almost lost Siri, I'm very, very glad that Jenna went, because I almost picked Jenna and changed her to Siri in the final moment. Very happy about that.
Oh, yeah, good call.
Dwight. You're 59th out of 60, my friend.
That tracks. Yeah, that tracks.
You picked Mike White for your bogey, and he's doing pretty well. And then you had a very quiet team. Christian did all right because he did make fire. Sari did okay. Emily, Jonathan, Tiffany, very, very quiet this episode. So you have you're not really off the mark, I'm afraid to say.
We're there. We exist.
You know what? And thank you for existing. I appreciate you.
Hey, we're not last, okay? Whoever's in 60th, step it up.
It's my friend Misha. She's not doing very well. She's never watched Survivor. She doesn't intend to watch Survivor. She texted me saying she picked them based on who had the funniest names.
I'm glad to hear that I, as an alum, am beating someone who has never seen the show. That's great to hear.
As
Incredible.
picking Mike as your bogey, I got to imagine the moment he ripped off that shirt and revealed that you must have been in tears. No.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm going. Yeah, I'm like, why is he?
Oh no, he's hot.
Nobody with abs like that's going home before the merge.
Exactly. Like, what do you mean?
In our top 10, It's Just a Game are doing a brilliant job. Wilfred Webster's in 9th, and Ryan is in 6th, so congrats to you guys. Friend of the show, Alex Franklin, is in 8th. We've got Doug from Survivor UK, he's in 5th, and right up at the top, Dan Bird from the Traitors Series 3 with 98 of your English points. Congratulations to Dan Bird. You are leading the game currently, so can he keep it up? We will see. There's still time.
When I make the comeback?
Well, you can make a comeback. There's 12 more episodes. You should probably be fine, I think.
Surely.
I think you can beat Fishback, Dwight. I believe in you.
That's my only goal. Like, just I'll hack. I'll do whatever I need to. I'll take it down. I'll rig the game.
Want to hack my Google spreadsheet?
What? Yeah, that's the plan.
Can't be done.
Yeah.
It is impregnable.
Yeah. Bet.
Dwight's gonna impregnate it.
Yep.
Dwight,
by the end of the week.
Dwight, this spreadsheet is bulging. What's going on?
Dwight, we got some questions you got to answer.
I plead the fifth on everything.
Didn't even know it was possible, but somehow it's given birth to a baby spreadsheet. You can still enter this game. Just follow the link in the description for this show or on our socials to join. Play along. It's going to be a lot of fun, and you can check your scores by following the links to the spreadsheet. So before we go, I just wanted to touch on something that's happened outside of the show, but within the community this week, which has been really, really fascinating. So I'm not fully clued up on this, so please correct me if I'm wrong. But basically, there was a reel from Eliza Orlins, who was a previous, I think, 2-time player, who had sort of had a run-in with Stephanie. She'd criticized Stephanie, who's playing on this season, for supporting Trump. And Stephanie had come back with some really anti-Semitic things. But she also said, keep politics out of Survivor. And I just want to know what you guys think about this, because this is such an odd and bold, and I'll give you my view, impossible statement. Can we separate politics from Survivor? Should we separate politics from Survivor?
I think the top line for me is, it's a show where you vote. It's political in its bones, like right down to the foundations. Every part of Survivor is a political show. Like I just, as you say, I have to agree with you, Ivan. Like I just don't think Survivor exists. It exists in the world, you know. It is part of the context of the society we live in.
Yeah, they cast people for conflicts of different personalities, different thought processes, different ideals. That's just a part of how the show is going to operate. And as you said, it's a show about voting, and that's going to play a factor in some degree of like, do I want to vote for somebody who I don't fuck with in any way, shape, or form, or do I want to, vote for somebody who I really like being around and probably isn't a horrible person? So yeah, it does play a part in it. It's impossible to remove politics altogether, especially when some people might bond over having shared values of some kind, or might not. So it's an impossible task to keep it out of the show entirely.
I think that saying keep politics out of a show is misunderstanding the point of politics, which is that politics is supposed to be a representation of us and our beliefs and the way we want life to be. And so saying keep politics out of Survivor is like saying keep opinion, keep personality, keep humanity, keep anything social. Like you just can't do it. I think what she meant was keep party politics out, but even party politics is just a way to codify our difficult to pin down beliefs. Mm-hmm. So shut up, Stephanie.
I mean, it's just like, I don't know if a player is a Republican or a Democrat. That kind of doesn't matter. Like it is.
We do now.
In this one specific instance.
Well, on that sober note, I think we sort of have got to the end of this week's podcast. I mean, I suppose my final question to you is, thumbs up, thumbs down. was this a decent opening episode of season 50? Did it do justice to the build-up it's had?
Oh, absolutely. I going in, I was excited, but also I was scared of like how much are they going to lead to this, the twist, new era stuff. They did it very respectfully. They dropped out Exile, which I liked, and then the Boomerang Idol twist. I'm okay with that as a mechanic. Genuinely, I think that's really well done. So I am very high on this season so far from the premiere. They got me. They got me good.
Yeah, I think most of my worst fears from the original teaser were mitigated. I think there were only like very minimal things I could criticize, and most of those are in regards to like the fan vote. But if you just look at like the meat and potatoes of like what was this episode, I think this is one of the best episodes of Survivor I have seen in like the last decade. Like I loved it. I think the main thing it showed me was like I want more returnees. I like the building of a narrative. I'm like, why have we waited 10 seasons to do this again, Jeff? Like this is so good.
Mm-hmm.
I just think if you compare this with episode 1 of any season of The Traitors, like, I'm so used to watching and talking about The Traitors, and episode 1 was like, yeah, we just got through it, it's fine, what do you think of The Traitors? So much happened, so much narrative, so much amazing stuff. The challenges were good, the players were fantastic, there were jokes, there were laughs, there were tears. It just did everything. And to be fair, if it hadn't done in the 3 hours that it ran for, I'd have been furious. But it did such a good job. I am so excited for next week. And we'll be back next week to dissect episode 2 and go over your fantasy scores with a brand new special guest. In the meantime, if you like this podcast, please do subscribe wherever you snuffle up your little podcasts, you pigs. Find us on Instagram and YouTube to see our faces next time. Like, comment, tell us whether you like this episode, what was your highlight, what was your low light, and share the Fantasy League with some pals who like numbers because it's not too late to sign up. That might be an advantage. Until next time, I'm Ivan, and you can find me at Pregnant Spreadsheets on Instagram.
I'm Alex, and you can find me at Toe Ring Etiquette on Reddit.
Dwight, you can find me at Working for Mike White's Abs on Instagram.
Goodbye! Bye-bye!
Bye!
Bye-bye, driver! Bye!
Oh.